is being recorded. And so for you, is it Stephen or Steven?
Steven is fine.
Steven? Okay, making sure I'm saying it right. Well, really, I'm reaching out to see if you are still interested in scheduling that first coaching session.
Yeah, I'm more interested to find out about Tony Robbins' framework. I'm already a thought leader myself, so I kind of do not the same work as Tony, but more research around that area. How do we improve as humans in life in general?
Oh, okay, gotcha. So are you wanting to have your own coach right now, or what's your end goal?
I wouldn't say I would want a coach. I'm interested to learn what model Tony teaches, so that I can adapt it and help other people. I've got a copy of his book, and I'm reading that and digesting that. But I was really interested to see where you come in, like because obviously Tony's Tony, he's got all these people around him. When you get a coach that's hopefully got a framework from Tony, how does that help people? I mean, it's very difficult to replicate Tony's work if it's not sitting down in front of Tony. But I've done a lot of research, and I know that the Destiny program is very good. It does work. It's more or less the same research as I'm doing, but I'm probably not going to be your ideal client. I'm a researcher, so I was just interested because I know Tony does a lot of social media presence. Yeah. And it's always said, "Oh, do you want to sign up?" And on a negative side, a lot of people I've spoken to do feel the same. It's very salesy in that sense. Like, oh, we can really help you. And I've done a couple of Tony's courses on Facebook, when they were during lockdown, and they were very good. I took plenty of notes, and every teacher's different. I love Tony. I think there's what I'm learning as a researcher and as a thought leader myself is you adapt, like Tony says, you model people's other, champion behaviour that's helped others, and you adapt it to your own model. So I follow the same kind of framework, but I was really encouraged to say, if I was to be a client, just say, never say no. What kind of help would you give to me? Because at the moment I'm a researcher, but I've also got to start a business. It's got a big presence. It's online, LinkedIn. I'm quite well known internationally in terms of LinkedIn and content I produce, but I'm going slow. That's the way I like it. I don't want to move fast, as some other people might suggest. But if I was to be a client, how would you help me?
So I will say too, also on our end, everyone's journey is different. For me, I hired my coach, for my relationship, and then it kind of turned into my personal coaching, and now I'm really doing like personal and professional coaching together. Some clients come to us strictly for professional coaching too, so every journey is a little bit different. But really on my end, what I do is I get clients in for that first coaching session that's tailored to them and their goals specifically, to see if, they're a good client for us and we're a good fit for them. And then we would go ahead and get my life coach. I think we have 140 coaches worldwide now that try to replicate, Tony Robbins' teaching. I will say, I want to make sure I'm helping you and supporting you in the way that you're looking for this. Because honestly, on my end, I do mainly just the coaching aspect. Are you interested in I know you don't want to become a life coach, but are you interested in that process to see how we do what we do?
I am. I mean, further down the road, what I'm looking to do, and that's probably the reason why I did 2 of Tony's courses on Facebook. Some of my research it's identical to Tony's, what you call, and you'll be familiar with, performance coaching, which is basically a posh term for life coaching. It is the same thing. So I'm looking to, in the years to come, to open up and do Tony's work even bigger. Not that I'm bigger than Tony, just because where my research is going, I want to be able to help more people. And it's, that's why I kind of follow Tony's work and seeing what he does. The innovations and other thought leaders as well. Gary Vee. There's loads. But performance coaching, or some call it life coaching, I call it performance coaching, is something that I want to be able to offer to people at scale in the future. So pretty much like the same as Tony, your Facebook lives and all that kind of stuff where people come on camera, and they get to kind of find their inner better self, as it were. But I'm still learning. I'm not ready to launch anything yet. But I love learning. That's the name of my brand, and I'll be keen to learn more about the Tony Robbins setup.
Sure. So really, we can kind of play this one of two ways. Because I'm sure you've heard the phrase before that all the great coaches have their own coach. So that I would say a lot of coaches hear that are coaches through our organization. They first had their own coach through us, and then they kind of trained that way to become a coach with our organization. So I take it to them for that first coaching call to see if our coaching would help support and serve you. Or, if you'd like, I can just go ahead and send you an email that has kind of like the list of requirements of what it takes, of what steps you do to become a coach through us. Which one would better support you?
Both. I just take as much as I can and learn as much as I can. That's my philosophy. So
for sure, I love that. So really, I can get you that first coaching call to tailor to you and your goals specifically as early as tomorrow. The two openings I have for tomorrow would be at either 3 p.m. your time or 5 p.m. your time. Do any of those work for you?
Either. So I can do 3 o'clock. I can do 5. I suppose. Three is better because I'll be 2 hours more sharper because it'll be 2 hours more later in the evening, so I'll be 2 hours tighter.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll do it for tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. your time, and they'll be out 2 o'clock off an hour to be sure. But somewhere between 30 to 45 minute coaching call with you and one of Tony's top senior strategists. On that call, the first part of the call, you are diving and digging in the juice, getting your actual coaching session. And then by the end of the call, figuring out if you enjoyed the coaching, if it was valuable, and if you do want further coaching from us, which if you do, at that point, you can then go over your price point, your package if you want continuous one-on-one coaching, okay?
Yeah, it sounds good. Okay. Is it audio again or is it Zoom?
It'll have to be a phone call like this.
Oh, okay. That's a shame, but...
Yep. Yeah. So, we do Zoom audio, so I know obviously Tony does this, with events with Zoom video cameras. We're not doing that just yet. There's some science behind it. I'm sure my friend Dominic, who's a huge market, can discuss further with you. But we're in the process of maybe doing Zoom video calls with coaches. We're not, we're working on the team for that one right now.
Okay. Oh, it's still, audio is still good, so...
Yeah, so would you prefer Zoom audio or would you prefer a phone call?
So Zoom audio, that's just, it's going to be the same thing, so I won't see you, you won't see me, is that right?
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, so, Zoom is tiring anyway, but when it is a coaching face-to-face experience, then it does work on Zoom, but audio is still good. I'm only just learning about your model, per se, and potentially what I could learn from one of your coaches. So audio is fine, just telephone is no problem.
Okay, good. And also to make sure I do have the right email address for you, I have your first name, last name, 42 at yahoo.co.uk. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. So the first email I'm going to send you will be that meeting invite, just confirming the date and time for your session. So once you receive that, just go ahead and accept it. And then lastly, I'm going to send you one more confirmation email that will have 2 homework assignments to complete before your call tomorrow, okay?
Okay, yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay, great, making sure. So I'll get everything to you. And tomorrow, what's really cool is tomorrow you're talking to my friend named Dominic. Dominic Dominic will be your senior strategist, and then let's say you do choose to hire a coach through us.
Yeah.
Dominic's role then transforms, and Dominic then becomes your coaching advisor, and making sure we are pairing you with the right coach based off your personality type, your goal set, your mindset, even your time zone is under play, making sure we are pairing you with the right coach for you. So Dominic will not be your quote-unquote coach, but he'll give you that first coaching session, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, great. Do you have any questions for me right
now? How come you're not coaching yourself?
Great question. I actually came, this kind of fell in my lap. I used to be a teacher, and, once the whole COVID world happened, it was hard to teach in the inner city schools with, tiny children doing Zoom calls. So I kind of actually, transferred from teaching into the Tony Robbins world, because for me, I love Tony Robbins, and I wasn't going to say no to him in this kind of opportunity. So for me, I don't really want to be a coach per se. I rather, actually connect with a lot of people, get them to have their own coach, their own journey, and I kind of like being like a middleman and all
that. Okay. Well, I'm a
it's really like a whole process here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's progression there for you, but I would urge and encourage you to go fast, because, being a former teacher, I'm a former teacher, I know what value we give to people, in terms of motivation and teaching. But we've all got our own journey, like you say. But it was very, very nice talking with you today.
Yes, and likewise. And thank you for being so accommodating. I know I'll call us for this for later, but I had a meeting pop up, and I wanted to give you a call before rather than after me. So thank you for being accommodating. I really appreciate that.
That's okay. Thank you for being so kind and helpful.
Yes, of course. Well, if you have any questions, you can call me, email me, or even text this number as well, okay?
Thank you so much.
Of course. Take care. Have a great day. We'll chat again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go. So that was a Tony Robbins call, not from him himself, but one of his team members talking to me about coaching. So you heard my story. You know who I am. Quite interesting thoughts there, but I thought I'd record it to make it interesting for you. So the light is slightly better now. Sorry, guys. It's quite interesting to pick up on a conversation there, because, as I stated in the telephone conversation, it's quite. It is. The Tony Robbins brand is very salesy, and I said that in the phone. I was honest, in a professional way, and I think that sometimes that we, as coaches or brands, can oversell our service. And yeah, I know Tony's a fantastic guy, but like I said, it's quite difficult to mirror that modelling image of, she said on a phone call there, bless her, she's got 40 people that are trained via Tony Robbins. And I can potentially go down that route myself. Maybe, I don't know. But I want to develop my own curriculum and take the best of the best, and that's what Tony's done in a lot of his books. Here we go, and I'm slowly reading this, and it's not because I want to write a book like this. I probably will one day, but I'm reading this not to absorb what Tony's saying and doing and teaching. Is to master some of the elements so that I can put that in my own learning curriculum. Hence me with this phone call. The more that I understand about the curriculum, the setup, the vision, all those kind of principles, practices, innovations going on from Tony and the model and the coaching, because I'm going to hear from a coach tomorrow and I'll record that as well for you guys. It's quite interesting to dive into the mind of Tony, and understand his network. You heard me talk about Destiny, which is the Netflix series that was recorded. I'm Not Your Guru. Check it out. Really good. Awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. And that really, I've done, as I said, I've done 2 Tony Robbins courses, Facebook, one was better than the other. One was really early lockdown, and Tony delivered a really good delivery in his home. With all these different cameras going on, and I think there's other big coaches in America that are doing the screens, and it does work, and it's the reverse of Zoom fatigue, because you're getting up and in your seats, you're doing these exercises that have been actually conditioned by world experts. I'll give you one, just those of you kind of Tony Robbins fans, exercising up, because if we do this when we sit down, it gives us energy. Energy drives us, and I think that's one of the core elements in Tony's work is energy. I've got my own ideas. I'm only learning from this man and his brand, so that I can better deliver something else in the near future. And you've heard me on the phone call say about coaching, and it will be a coaching academy. I'm a few years from it, to be honest, because I'm still putting together loads of different stuff. I'm focusing on my emotional intelligence lead research, which is called self-innovation. And there's a newsletter on LinkedIn. You can subscribe to that. But this is a long video that I've made, but I wanted to, share some of my thoughts and my deep analysis here in my humble room, which is basically in my head office. I work from home. There's no, don't have loads of revenue. I don't really need it per se. I'm still in the early research stages of all my brands, really. But I think, just to end on a positive, that I would never criticize any other coach. I know that some people say that Tony's work is a bit dated, and in some elements it might be, but there's, some of my work might be dated. The idea is to work together and to learn to adapt, because obviously I listen from Tony because he's been doing it for 30 years, and I take the best elements that I think work in today's world. I match up to my research, which is relevant, up to date, which is self-innovation. How can we increase the mind in the EQ world to make ourselves more creative and put better teams together that can tackle business problems and function better in life through, conditions of depression, even suicide? How can we revert that? So that's my research. I'm blending it all together, and I'm saying that we can deliver better training, developing the future of work when we combine and model other people's research and bring it to, which is basically academia in a way. That's what it is. I've spoken for some time. That the phone call went on for a bit, but I wanted to end it on a positive. Encourage everybody to pick a mentor, pick someone. I don't have a coach at the moment. I've got loads of people around me to support my thinking. As I build my team, I think it would be important for me to learn more about different innovations. As Tony says, mastery, and another book that I'm basically, some of my research is going into, which is Gorman's famous book. Okay, that's really helping at the moment. I'm really teaching from that really at the moment. In all honesty, in my newsletter. It's important because COVID is still here, and we still need to listen, learn, until we can add to some cognitive science and improve people's lives and reduce depression and reduce racism. There's ways we can do that if we put more effort into the early education systems, I think. As a former teacher, I think that a lot of curriculums need rewriting. Your maths and English are pretty solid these days. In some respects, you've got cancel culture. I'm gone on a little bit more here, but these conversations need to happen if we're ever to improve education for all people in this world. And I'm really still confused about cancel culture and the wake and all this. I just don't get it really. Why are we tearing down statues and gosh knows what else? Go to a library, pick up what I've done. I've got 2 books here. One I bought from Amazon, two Amazon. I've got books up on my shelf up there. But they both kind of really help me learn more. So I extract more. So EQ, emotional intelligence, mindset. So his emotional intelligence, Tony Robbins, is very good. So I'm blending the two theories together. I'm putting it in my own research in my own head, and my EQ is improving. Okay, so that should be a micro video really. So buy 2 books. Okay, buy a theorist book, buy a thought leader, and Tony's class as a thought leader, and see if you can have the 2 theories come together, mix and match slightly, and then put them in your own thinking and develop your own framework. And that's really what I think us business leaders should be doing modern, sort of like after the great reshuffle or great resignation in corporate America. We can only really increase performance in organizations when we combine theories, education, develop new books, new material, and give that to the world. All right, that's a good little video for you there. I've spoken for some time now. Hope you enjoyed it. Educational, and yeah. So that's it for me. Tomorrow will be stage 2 of recording a coaching session with one of Tony's personnel. Hope you enjoyed it. If this is on Mental Health TV, please subscribe. I love you. You're welcome in the world. You're loved in the world. Sorry. If you're sad, chin up. Be happy. Smile. I'm here for you. I'm with you. Subscribe. Let's do this work together. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye for now.